What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lewis, and on today's video I am going to tell you what the top 5 best selling bowling balls are of January. And I'm going to do this at the end of every single month, where we're going to talk about, and this is unbiased, right, just raw numbers, which balls sold the most in January, so that at the end of the year we can really see what is the best bowling ball sales wise of the year. And so, again, this is unbiased. This is numbers directly from my pro shop, who, JB Bowling Supply. They sell a ton of bowling balls. They don't care. They're not brand loyal to any one brand. They will sell anything if it's what the guest needs. Before we get into any more details, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would super appreciate it. If you'd like to order any of the balls featured in today's video, or the chamois, or the ball spinner where the balls are typically on, use the link down below in the description. I would super appreciate it. So I didn't bring all of these balls with me, so while I'm talking about them, I'll show you some videos of when I initially reviewed these bowling balls. So again, this is not an order of my preference or anything like that. This is strictly sales from the pro shop, and I'm not going to disclose how many units sold, because that's pretty confidential information, but this is the numbers that were given to me. Coming in at number 5, and you know, I also want to preface this by saying that, you know, we only have 1 month's worth of data, right? February, we're going to have 2 months, and then 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So as we progress through this series, it's going to become more and more accurate. So just because these are in the top 5 right now, doesn't mean that they will be come February, come March, whatever the case may be. So we're going to start at number 5, and number 5 is the Hammer 3D Offset Assault. This was a ball that was pretty good, right? I didn't think it was a horrible ball. I think that it did get boosted in sales because of the brand, right? Hammer balls typically sell a little bit more. The fans really like those balls. It was a really good color scheme, and a lot of people liked it. I never threw it in league, just because I got so many balls right around that time that I ended up not throwing it in league ever for whatever reason. So that is number 5. Coming in at number 4, and actually the cool thing about this is that there's only one brand that was repeated on this list. So the top 5 has 4 different brands, which is pretty cool. I'll let you guess which brand that is. Number 4 is the Motive Jackal Onyx. Now this ball I really like. It is a big asymmetric solid it comes surface out of box, and it just does not lane shine. I still have not hit mine with any surface at all since I initially got it, and it's still super dull, and it just does the right thing. Really, really big fan of it. Motive, for whatever reason, out here on the West Coast doesn't sell as much as like Hammer and some of the, you know, Storm. But it's a really, really good ball. And if you're in the market for a big asymmetric solid, I'd be very hard pressed to not recommend the Motive Jackal Onyx. All right, so that's number 4. Coming in at number 3 is actually surprised me, and I imagine that this ball will fall out of the top 5 as we progress through this year, just because of the nature of this ball. We're talking about the Storm Level. Yeah, it's not urethane, but it has a lot of those characteristics to urethane. It's a ball that on house shot allows me to play super right, really lets me bring my speed down, really roll it. On sport patterns, it lets me shove it into the friction, and it doesn't want to jump off the spot. Does a lot of very similar things to urethane balls while still not being urethane. Coming in at number 2 now, we're talking about the 900 Global Zen 25. This is one that I think is going to remain in the top 5 for at least a few months. You guys, it's a Zen, right? Zen ball good. It's clean through the fronts. It's very responsive. It does, again, like I said with the Motive ball, it does a lot of the right things. Whatever that right thing is, it does. It's good on the fresh. It's good in a little bit of transition. It's good when I got to get super far left and create a bunch of angles. It's a ball that I bring to league with me every single week as well. So that's really good. And number 1, we all knew that this was going to be the number 1 most sold ball. And it might be the number 1 most sold ball at the end of the year. as well. We're talking about the Hammer Black Widow Mania, right? It's easy math, right? Black Widow with the effect cover. It was always going to be number one, and it might end up being number one at the end of the year. It's also one of my personal favorites. In a separate video, I'm going to tell you what my top 3 are, and this is a more biased video, right? Nothing to do with numbers, nothing to do with sales, just balls that I really, really like. And you can be rest assured that the Black Widow Mania is also going to be on that video. It's clean, it's responsive, it's boomy, the colors are great. I've seen people one-handed, two-handed, high rev rate, low rev rate, up the back, come around it, really like this ball. And because of that, it's going to be the number one ball in sales for January. So there you have it. Are you surprised by this top 5? Are you not surprised by this top 5? How do you think this series is going to progress as we go throughout the year? Let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested to see your guys' opinions, reactions, whatever the case may be. We'll see you on the next one.